what's going on. Show you this here. This is one of my homemade projectiles, and I happen to put a tail on it because in the thorn method, when you throw, if you're throwing actually like this, when it leaves it, your hand, it's flying actually pointing up, and then it goes this way. So the drag, it helps to add a little extra, like it turns over, the tip moves a little better with the putting a tail on it. So I just used basically a grocery bag and some tape, and then I learned that you can actually use the ground and sticks to practice your throwing. I learned it actually from a kung fu movie, The Return of the Five Deadly Venoms, or the Crippled Avengers. The blind guy, he would use his ears. When the leaves would hit the ground, he'd throw a little stick, stab the leaves. So these things do work. I mean, that's the thing about a lot of this. I mean, at least with my particular methods of training, is I make a lot of my own little tools, and I've built so many different training aids. I mean, this is the things that no one else sees, you know what I'm saying? All the little things. And then, a lot of the things that I have built have been destroyed or abandoned or stolen even, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have a lot of this stuff, but the knowledge that is in my brain, it doesn't matter. You could take away everything from me, and the knowledge that I've already acquired of how to make and build things is there. You cannot take that away. And here's another thing, when you depend on others to craft your tools, well, that's a good way to become a consumer, and therefore you, for the rest of your life, instead of a creator or a craftsman, you're going to be I believe learning how to make things and acquire things from when you have nothing is a skill in itself. It's like basically I think it was Michelangelo, when he created some statue, or he said it wasn't the stone that he used, that the statue was already within the stone. This is kind of the same way that you see things. Or it talks about to being able to recognize the usefulness of items is a skill in itself, because some people just see, oh, that's garbage, and then other people could see, oh, that's a tool, and that is and it can be burnt as firewood after it's utilized as a tool, or if it's broken. I mean, this is a stronger psychological mindset to be in. This is like, hey, even if I'm lacking something, I'll find something to whatever I'm missing, I'll find something to fill in for that. So, but yeah, so tails on your projectiles for throwing, you know what I'm saying, knife throwing, because I mean, even though this is a stick, it's still knife throwing, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a different material. It'll still work, but it's more specifically designed for just using the ground, the yard, you know what I'm saying, what's available to me. So when it tails on projectiles, for instance, this right here, this whip, I made this whip. It's probably about 15 feet long, and I made it myself. I never made one before, but it's not rocket science. A lot of this stuff, it's an actual doing it, or recognizing when you have the materials that you need to do it. The hardest thing about this making this whip was I made it basically from thrown away furniture. You had a leather couch, and I had to cut off big square chunks of as big as full as I possibly could, and then I had to cut them into little strips. So every time I cut a strip, it was like hacking practice. You know what I'm saying? It was strength, controlling with the razor. It was controlling exactly where I was, how I was using the energy. So I mean, just the ripping apart the couch. That's where it comes from. There's where the deconstruction, reconstruction comes into play, because something that was already constructed, this couch, I tore it apart, extracted materials from it, and then used these materials to create a totally separate object, which is it works. I mean, this thing right here will work. If I can pluck leaves off, the branches and trees. I mean, but that only came through practice over a period of time, that I could get that good at it. But once again, there's deconstruction, reconstruction. What other people would throw away, I seen as valuable materials that I can utilize to make new tools, new ways to train, new ways to to add extra mechanics to my abilities. So a lot of people don't really have the time or the energy to even think about this stuff, let alone put it into practice. Which, in many times over have I already put a lot of these things into practice. And the fact that I don't have all these all my trophies around me showcased in the room, doesn't mean that up in here and in here they're all there. You know what I'm saying? They can't be taken away, because it's like the whole teach a man to fish and he'll always know how to go and acquire food, but you just give him a fish for the night, tomorrow he's going to be back on the same struggle. So same thing, that's what, I if anything, I try to teach people that just see beyond what you thought you were capable of. Because I mean, a lot of people that learned in the beginning, they probably learned by accident, just by trial and error. No one held a gun to their head to say, hey, you have to learn this, or you have to do this, or you have to utilize this way, or that cannot be done, that is against tradition, or I mean, screw traditions. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like this. Knowledge is free. The time that it takes to acquire the knowledge is not free, and it is not. It's a resource that doesn't last forever, because we only have so much time we're alive. So I mean, you basically gotta figure out what it is you want to learn, and then start utilizing it to the max, get the most out of it. So same thing. Time, a lack of, creates that desire to fill in what you're lacking. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the thing. It's all about energies. By me making certain things, it kind of encapsulates the energy that I spent in my experiment stage to bring about this creation. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's my own from just straight from scratch, or my recreation of what someone else has created in the past. So I know it can be done. It's just I went about it a different way to get a similar result. But anyway, yeah, that's how this, with my particular understanding, that's how it works.